Are your parents alive?
Yeah.
How old are your parents, if you don't mind?
70.
Okay. And where do they live?
In different parts of Washington State.
Okay. Did you see them?
Yeah.
Pretty often?
Once to 3 times a year.
So let's say they live to be 78, which is I hope they don't. But let's say that they live to the average age. So you see them you said 1 to 3 times?
Yeah.
Okay. No, you don't. That means you're going to see them 16. If you see them twice a year, you can see them 16 more times. When you look at it that way, you're like, what? You don't have 8 years with them. You have 16 times with them. And that's the shift in my life. And that's the way I look at things. That's a fundamental shift in the way that I looked at situations 6 months ago. And it's created urgency. It's created a need to just like not put stuff off and to recognize like what's on your list of things that you want to do.
So how is turning 50 affecting the way that you think? I'm super curious.
Just realizing that like it went so fast and realizing that there's so much that I want to do and being aware that your 70s are a different decade than your 40s and 50s. Then you have 20 years left. And when you put it in perspective of how many weekends there are, it's only 52 weekends. And you start to look at it like that, you're like, I'm going to be 80 in 30 years. It's scary.
Woo! Talk about a little bit of perspective for the morning. Good morning, dreamers. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. Shane in the building. Talina, Lady Boss Nikki, 1111. Paint your vision. A lot of great things, a lot of amazing things are going on through the midst of life as life throws its curveballs, the left hooks, the jabs, the blind sides that we don't see. But this is what makes life. If every day was sunny, if everything was going great every day, there would be no such thing as rain. There would be no such thing as the yin and the yang, right? There's a reason why every single atom is filled with two pieces. It's filled with a positive. It's also filled with a negative ion. Together, this is what creates life. So grateful for it all. You like that, huh? Shane and Shalina. That's right. I love it. So, fam, what are we grateful for coming into today? I got a great topic. Honestly, Neno kicked it off with a phenomenal training. I love that training, going through the 4 different P's, right? Getting into purpose, priority, production. I love it. Phenomenal one. Getting into it today. I'm going to piggyback off of that a little bit, getting into what's called quality and qualifying time. And last P is going to be the profit. Cedric, what's going on? It's good to see you, brother. So here we go. What's everybody grateful for coming into today? Let's get this party rocking and rolling. And this is a good one, right? Because it's not your typical, how we think of quality time. Just like this morning message directly relates to exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So deep perspective. Make sure you share this one. Put it out. This is going to be one that nobody wants to miss. Let's go ahead and get into it. IG is live. In perspective. Awesome. Let's go. Here we go, family. So grateful to be alive. So grateful to be tapped in to the deep work, right? Without the deep work, I don't know where I would be. I would be absolutely freaking lost right now. But thank goodness for emotional intelligence, being able to really, through all the wins, stay grounded, right? Stay rooted. There's a reason why we journal, why we write our gratitude every day, why we're actually on this consistency run, because this isn't for the great days. This is for the character building days, because it's not a question of matter or if they come. It's just going to be when. And this is why we prepare every day to go ahead and be ready for anything that is to come. So super excited. A lot of amazingness is going on. Today is day 440. 440 days locked in, getting to it. That's what it's all about, right? And the journey is documented, right? The ups, the downs, and to be able to go back and track everything, this is where the magic happens. So remember, these are your uncashed checks, right? Eventually, these are going to be able to turn into dollars, impact, right? The growth continues. So I love to see it. Let's keep going. All right, so today, dreamers, we're talking about the difference between quality time and qualifying time. Day 468, congratulations. Day 430, great job. I love to see it. Okay. Now, when we think about quality time, I want everybody to go ahead and drop it down below. When you think about quality time, what are some things that everybody thinks about? If you want to go ahead and spend some quality time, how would you go ahead and spend that time? Let me know. Drop it down below. What are some quality things that everybody can think about? Because when I get into this training, this is going to cause a shift. It's going to make you think a little bit different, because the way he took this morning, it literally threw me for a ride. So I can't wait to go ahead and pass this on. Quality time is this, okay? Quality time, he talked about, is a lot of the things that give us dopamine, right? When we think about quality time, we might think about going to the park with family, hanging out with some cousins, watching a sunset, hanging out with kids, right? For those of you that have kids. Qualified time, he talks about, is a little bit different. Qualified time, you see, is about legacy. Here's where the switch comes in. Pay attention, right? Here's what he said. He said, we'll start standing up quickly and saying what won't qualify our time the moment that we really get intentional about how it is that we're using our time. He talked about, would you want somebody in our cubicle with the subject of no interest, political conversations, talking about religion? None of these things are worthy of our time. None of these conversations are going to allow us to get to where it is that we want to go. And even for myself, I find myself getting into a lot of unqualified conversations, getting into a lot of unqualified habits. Could be even for myself. I get caught scrolling for a couple minutes. I got to look at myself, like, snap out of it, right? So every one of us, we have things that's unqualified for how we realistically can be maximizing our time. So here's a training that we did. Here's what Sean actually does to his students. He actually sets them, for those that pay him a lot of money. I'm talking about $30,000 to $50,000 type of investments for his coaching, his mentorship. He literally has them set an alarm, and this is the elite, right? Obviously, we don't have to go this crazy yet, but he has them set an alarm every 10 minutes. Why? Because he knows how easy it is for human brain, human psychology to get distracted from all of these little dopamine hits. We have the TV going in the background. We have social media. We have the news. We have text messages popping up out of nowhere. And for those of you that don't know, every distraction, he says, can literally take up to 23 minutes of our time, getting us off track from whatever it is that we were going to do. Drop a 3 down below if you had something yesterday that distracted your time, pulled us off for at least almost a half an hour, and was it tough to go ahead and maybe get back into the activity, get back into that motion? I've been there. Absolutely. Let me go ahead and drop my 3s down below. But this comes from not qualifying our time a lot of the times. So when we start getting in the mood, start getting in the groove of asking ourselves, is this worthy of my time, or should I be doing something more productive? So let's get a little bit deeper. Okay. He talked about, this is so interesting. Here's the next level of qualifying our time. He said, did the last hour of our life, did we qualify it? And here's how we can know if we qualified it. If we had 1 hour left to live, would we be in the same state as we were in the last hour? Ooh, this is where he starts to hit you with the cyber slap, the cyber hit in the face. The energy that we were sitting in the past hour, if that was the last hour that we spent, we would be happy about the state that we were living in. And that put life into perspective. How many of us are sitting in a negative mood, a negative state, and that vibrates across the whole day? And before we know it, we're sitting in bed, and the whole day just flew by, and the day just went like this. Drop a 1 down below if you know somebody like this. We've all been there, for sure, without a doubt. But this just comes with awareness, right? You don't have time for drifting. No. So put it this way: if we had 1 hour left to live, here's the question, right? Would we hit the snooze button in the morning? Would we put off the things that we truly knew was going to allow us to move the needle forward, was going to allow us to step into the highest version of ourselves? Or would we just wait? He talked about our dreams. He said, think about our dreams. What if our dreams was like a friend? And he asked this question: how long would you wait for your friend? Imagine just sitting at a bus stop. We're sitting there waiting for our friend, and we're looking left, we're looking right, we're looking everywhere. They're nowhere to be found. How long would we sit and wait there for them to show up? And he talked about that's literally how a lot of us are with our dreams. Our dreams are literally sitting at the corner, sitting there waiting for us to go ahead and show up for ourselves so that our dreams can go ahead and show up for us. And that was such a great analogy that really had me thinking. He says so many of us are spending so much time that we never qualify our time to get up to the street corner, because on the way we're having a conversation here, we're sitting down over here, we're laying down over here, and we're never actually getting to the destination to where we want to go. He talked about it's like flying an airplane. We'll never be able to get to any destination if we don't have that destination locked in, clear, in HD high definition. So as we go ahead and wrap it up for today, here was a couple things to think about. He said, until we qualify our legacy time, everything we do, believe it or not, it's going to be very difficult to actually have quality time. For those of you that paid attention to the video that I played this morning, Tom Bilyeu, right, one of the creators of Impact Theory, he actually is the one that had that interview, and he was talking about this morning, how many times, do you see your parents a year? He said maybe 3 or 4. He said, okay, well, if they're 7 years old, they live till 78. That means, 8 years goes by. You see them a couple times a year. You've literally you don't have 8 years to see them. You have 16 chances left to go ahead and see them. And for some people, they can only take maybe 1 or 2 vacations a year. One of my biggest inspirations was for that reason. I wanted to be able to pick up and travel. I wanted to be able to go and see my family whenever I wanted to. But I couldn't ever spend that quality time because I was not qualifying my time. You see, when we qualify our time, that's going to allow us to spend more quality time. I know a lot of mothers, they would love to. How many of you know some mothers that would love to spend more time with their children? So the ideology is this: if we can spend more if we can work on our qualified time, that in turn is going to lead to better and more quality time with our loved ones. I want to be able to take some of my family all over the world. Different beaches, different exotic destinations, different experiences, different foods, but I'm never going to be able to do that if I don't take the time to qualify the time now to give them that time freedom later. And the same thing goes with every single one of us on this call. How we qualify our time leads to the quality time that we spend in our life. I wanted more than just 2 vacations a year. So it took really getting serious about exactly what we're diving into right now. And he talked about this. This is really interesting, right? He talked about we need to use life, because if life uses us, we get agitated. The thing that all of us want, when you really put it in retrospect and you really think about it, it's unknown. None of us have ever, for the most part, none of us have ever been to the next level that we're looking to go ahead and get to. So we can all agree, yes or yes, that this next level is going to be unknown. Otherwise, we would already have it. Here's the second piece of the paragraph of how he puts it together. He said, thoughts. The thought is to arrive at the unknown before it even happens, mentally and spiritually. What does that mean? Getting prepared before it even happens. You got to know right now, as we step into our greatness, as we put out these videos, as we put out content, as we start getting better at trading, put out an e-commerce store, nothing that we do, we can say, okay, well, this is directly going to lead to this. This is going to lead to this. Everything, believe it or not, you get to a point you start to realize is at the end of the day, it's unknown. No, there's a reason why somebody hit chairman in 9 months. Somebody hit chairman in 7 months. Everybody's timing is different, right? God gives his gifts to everybody with a different timing, but that doesn't mean that just because somebody else got their mail does not mean that our mail is not coming as well. So the question becomes, at what moment do we start qualifying our time? At what moment do we start saying no so we can go ahead and know better? I never understood why he always said that. How do we say no so we can really know? When we say no to things, this allows us to know who we truly are. Allow me to explain. Saying no to distractions. Guess what? Maybe that distraction that we're normally used to doing, that could have took up 30 minutes to an hour of our time. What if we spent that time working on a brand? What if we spent that time working on our go lives? What if we spent that time putting out content, and then that content leads to somebody that's interested in the business? Maybe getting on that go live leads to actually getting successful trades. Now we get more confidence that we go ahead and get a withdrawal coming in the next month. You see, the time that we didn't really think played a difference ends up making the most difference. This is why qualified time leads to legacy. It's the little things that create the bigger picture. It's the small steps that lead to the big visualizations that we're all looking to go ahead and get to. So the question for today is, did we qualify our time? I'm running that all day. That's literally my star for the top of my journal today. Did we qualify our time? And if the answer is yes, I promise you right now, a lot of the things that we're so used to just floating into, say, you know what? We have tomorrow, we can go ahead and do it. We start to realize that every second matters, every day counts, and every day is leading into the future self that we're looking to go ahead and become, because every cause has an effect. So believe it or not, the compound effect is more real than any of us will ever know. So dreamers, I love you. I'm so excited to see what is here and what is to come, because we're all qualifying our time to go ahead and allow true quality time. So let's go out and make the most of today. I love you, dreamers. If you got any value, drop some threes down below, smash that like button, and let's go leave a legacy, right? The legacy continues as part of our slogan. I love you, fam. Let's go out and have a phenomenal day. Remember, if nobody told you yet today, I believe in you. You are powerful. You are great. You are a leader. You are making an impact. Your story matters, and the world is waiting to hear it. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. Let's go out, make it happen. Dreams to reality. Let's get to work.